Soldiers of Shoot.
Brothers and sisters, it is I, Hollywood Edwards, and I am back after a week-ish long absence to tell you about Impact Wrestling this week, June 14th episode of Impact Wrestling. And I'm not going to break down the whole show. However, I watched the show this week, and, I don't know what the answer is. But I thought I would pop on, give you some Impact thoughts, and maybe get to an answer. Okay? Again, watched Impact. They do everything right. They protect their characters. Their characters do what they should be doing from a character's perspective. The booking is good. The shows are good. The matches are good. Had another show here from 2300 Arena in Philly, ECW Arena. Sandman was on this week. The ECW legends being in Impact are, it is what it is for nostalgic purposes. They're in Philly. You got RVD and Sabu on shows. Again, nostalgic purposes. However, they're not setting the world on fire. And I don't know what the answer is. Like I said, they do good shows. The weekly show is great. You have network issues. They're on Pursuit, apparently airing the wrong show 2 weeks ago. Hopefully they got the right one this week. They had a snafu the week before, so I think going back 3 weeks, Pursuit kept looping a set of commercials. Man, I don't know when that TV deal is up, but on the list, first thing to do is get the hell off Pursuit, no matter what. I don't care if that's the only TV deal you can get. Stick to Twitch and YouTube. Stream on YouTube. Go somewhere else if they can't find a TV deal. But the interesting thing about this, what got me thinking, was a few weeks ago, the show the night before AEW pay-per-view. I decided not to watch it because I didn't want to get burned out on the wrestling. I was too hyped up for AEW. I wanted to see AEW. Sorry, Impact, but I figured I would get caught up and, come back the next week. But as I'm watching tonight, I'm saying to myself, it's all good, but it just isn't making an impact, pun intended. Impact is not making an impact in the wrestling world today. A swig of coffee. So, how can they do that? How can they make an impact? Because now they are looking up at AEW already after one official show. And, oh, by the way, if you didn't hear the news, AEW sold out in 15 minutes today for All Out. They're slipping. They went from, 4 minutes to 15 or 10 minutes? They're slipping. It's a downward trend for AEW. No, I'm joking. 15 minutes they sold out. And here is Impact trying to sell out the 2300 Arena, and they're bringing back the Sandman. I'm not killing them for that. I mean, it's cool. It's nostalgic, whatever. But they need to do something desperate and drastic for people to pay attention to this show. And like I said in the open here a few minutes ago, I don't know exactly what that is. If you are listening to me, put it down in the comments. A, do you even care about Impact? If you do care about Impact, what can they do to make an impact? Because now the odds are stacked against them. Forget WWE. Forget AEW. They are on a different level because AEW has just swooped in and taken that second spot. So everything beneath them is beneath them. Let's be real. So what can Impact do? I don't know. As I'm watching the show, I'm thinking to myself, maybe they can hook up with ROH, and maybe we can get a three-way company deal between ROH, Impact, and New Japan. I know in the past they had a relationship with Wrestle One that didn't seem to really go anywhere a few years ago. And by a few years ago, I probably mean 10. But they got to figure out something. And maybe the simple answer is, I don't know, hooking up with AEW. Because as I'm watching the main event, Mike Elgin and Willie Mack put on a great big man match. And Rich Swann was on the outside. And, you know, at the end of the match, Johnny Impact came in and the four guys are in the ring. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, there's a lot of talent in the ring right now. Why the hell can't they get people to pay attention to this? They just need to make an impact. And I mean, you know, would anybody be interested in watching Johnny versus Jericho? Johnny versus Omega? Brian Cage, who's injured right now, I know, but eventually. LAX. Maybe that's what they need to do. But they desperately need to do something. Again, the show was good tonight. Good main event, good storylines with LAX and the Rascals there with the tag team titles. Everything that's going on there. You got Tessa feuding with OVE. Basically, had a good match with Madison and Jordynne Grace, but it's just not, at this point, like in the wrestling community, it's, who cares? Who cares? Yeah. You know, some people will say, yeah, it sounds like a decent show, but who cares? I'm not going to watch that. Because they're not making an impact. They're not setting the world on fire, and they need to figure something out. Honestly, that's all I have. That's all I wanted to say. A little short video here because I really didn't feel like going through the whole show and commenting on everything. Flying solo here. But yeah, that's what popped into my head and I figured I'd share it. So I'm looking for answers. So if you are listening and you're signed in, feel free to throw down in the comments. How can Impact Wrestling make an impact to become relevant, I guess is a good way to put it. Because right now they are irrelevant. And I don't really think it's just a sign of the times right now. Everybody's talking about AEW if they're not killing WWE for their current state. And Impact is just that little engine that could going up, you know, nobody's watching the show and they're putting on a hell of a show. So put it down in the comments. Do you care? And if you do care, what can they do? Even if you don't care, what realistically can they do if you don't care to make you care? I'm interested. See what our subscribers say. And thanks. We're rolling at 20 subscribers. Hey, slowly but surely. I love the 20 of you. And I speak for the rest of the SOS. We here at the SOS appreciate you. Put it down in the comments. Thanks for listening. This is Hollywood Edwards blading for truth. Soldiers of Shoot.
Soldiers of